Come expand your spiritual journey. Join us for Just the Talk. Sundays, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Experience Unity Kitchener and Ottawa. Center for Spiritual Living Midtown. Center for Spiritual Living Denver. Unity of Garden Park. New Thought Philadelphia. The Sunshine Cathedral. Unity of Savannah. And the Ohm Center for Spiritual Living. Come unleash your spiritual potential with New Thought Media Network. And now, let's experience the Ohm Center for Spiritual Living.
And thank you for those who are joining us online. Thank you. Welcome. And people on Facebook. Thanks. Good morning. It's such a gift to be here. I thank you so much for the invitation, and thank you all. I'd like to begin with a little bit about who I am. I am a reverend from the Community Miracle Center from San Francisco, and I've been studying A Course in Miracles since 2006, so almost around 20 years. I'm also a channeler. I channel the Akashic Records and do other types of channeling. And before I begin, I want to acknowledge something that I'm feeling in this room. I'm feeling a lot of healing, peace, love, and like a sense of inquisitive. You guys have inquiring minds, and I appreciate that. So I'd like to talk about an introduction to A Course in Miracles, the history, how I found it, and a few pillars of A Course in Miracles. So what is A Course in Miracles? Just a show in hands. How many people here have heard about A Course in Miracles or read A Course in Miracles? That's great. Great. Thank you. So as you know, it's a self-study path. There's a book. I have a pile of books over there that I just wanted to share with you. There are different additions to A Course in Miracles. And basically, the core teaching has the text, a manual for teachers, and workbook of daily lessons. And who here has done any daily lessons of A Course in Miracles? Excellent. Okay, great. Thank you. It's not a religion. It simply offers a shift from fear to love. And a core teaching states that it's a shift of how we see the world around us, how we see others in the world. The opening of the book says, this is A Course in Miracles. It is a required course. Only the time you take is voluntary. So the history, where it came from. It all started back in 1965 with a man, Bill Thetford, and he was a psychologist in New York. He was a clinical psychologist at Columbia University, and he hired this woman. Her name was Helen Schuckman. And they went back and forth. They bantered about all different types of things related to psychology, clinical psychology, and they just couldn't get along. So one day, Bill just said to the universe, there's got to be a better way of doing this. And what happened was Helen came to him and said, you're absolutely right, Bill, and I will help you find it. Then what happened later on that year, a miracle happened. She began to hear the voices, and it was like an inner voice, she described it. And the voice said to her, this is a course in miracles. Please take notes. And she kept hearing that over and over again. And this is a woman who had said that she was an atheist, basically, and she didn't have that type of connection with spirituality at all. So she began to take it seriously, and she began to take notes and scribe what she was hearing. And what she found out was that it was a word-for-word dictation from Jesus. And to her astonishment, she's like, wow, I can't believe this. So what she did, she knew shorthand, so she wrote everything in shorthand. So it was quicker. And as a result, what happened, Bill had to transcribe it all. So this happened over the course of 7 years. 7 years that she heard the voice, Jesus dictated it, bless you. And so as a result, because it was dictated to her by hand, she had to, different people interpreted her words differently, and some things it was really hard to understand. So there were many additions to A Course in Miracles, but a lot of us know the one for the Foundation for Inner Peace edition. So just a little backstory about how I found A Course in Miracles. There I was in my 20s, and I was a lifelong Catholic, brought up in the Catholic Church, but it didn't quite resonate with me anymore. I don't know if anybody can relate to a spiritual path not relating to you. So first of all, I was gay, and there was no room for gay people in the church, and I just didn't feel accepted or wanted at all. So I was lost, and I was searching for my own spiritual path. I was searching for God. For 2 long decades, I was searching and searching. I went to my friend's church. It didn't resonate. I read books. It just didn't resonate. Then all of a sudden, back in 2004, I had a near-death experience. I went to sleep and basically felt my soul being sucked out of my body. I found myself in this endless void. Like, it just seemed like endless, like clouds of gray all over. And I knew where I was because I had been there before. And I knew that I had died several times before. And who here believes in like past lives? Past lives, okay. So I remember dying in past lives, being in this void. So I was upset and I was angry. Then I became surrounded by beings of light. They just came around me. And I wasn't scared at all. I was just like, okay, why am I here? Because I knew it wasn't my time to be there. Why am I here? And I said, oh, don't worry, Jodi. I have a long story. There's a long story behind that. But fast forward to 2006. What I heard from these beings of light is I was given an assignment to fulfill. And in those 2 years, from 2004 to 2006, I was busy fulfilling my assignment. I found myself at a Hay House conference in Los Angeles. Louise Hay, was familiar with Louise Hay. I was at this conference, I saw a flyer, and it said, hey, go to this room at breakout session, and you're going to learn to work with Ascended Masters. So I'm like, cool, let's go. So I'm telling myself, I'm going to go learn about Ascended Masters. I met this guy, his name was Gary Renard. He was giving a speech about his book, The Disappearance of the Universe, and how these beings came into his living room and basically told him all about A Course in Miracles. So that's what started me on my path. Immediately, I bought his book. I started studying A Course in Miracles. That was in 2006. So what I want to do is just share a little bit about the few pillars about A Course in Miracles. One is about perception. It's about what we see in ourselves, we project outward. So it's like our thought, we create our thoughts, but our thoughts also create what we're seeing out in the world. That's a really core teaching, is that what we're seeing out there, we project, and the projection is not real. The Course says, nothing can be threatened, nothing real exists. Herein lies the peace of God. That's a radical statement. And it's radical because of what the Course teaches. It teaches us that once upon a time we were all God. You could say up in heaven or wherever that is. You could, we're all one. And then one time we decided, we had a tiny mad idea. They call it a tiny mad idea. When we thought, oh, we found ourselves in an ego point of view that says, oh, I can be separated from God. And at that point was that idea that we had in our head. And that created us from being separated from this overall oneness that we all were in. And we came into this world of form. We call this a world of form. The good news is that we can get out of this world of form. And the Course teaches that we have these lifetimes. lifetime after lifetime, what we're doing is we're searching for ways to get out of what we call this dream state, this world that isn't reality, because we're creating it from our inner self and what we think about, and we project it out, everything. One of the teachings that the Course in Miracles said is, I'm never upset for the reason I think. So whatever you project out there that's upsetting you, the reason you're upset is because you're separated from God and from everyone. That's what it talks about. That shifts a lot of things, because that means that we can take responsibility for the world around us instead of being the victim of what's out there that you project. If you see things that are out there that you don't like about anything, the good news is that through forgiveness, you can take, apply forgiveness to change the world around you. And it's a different kind of forgiveness in A Course in Miracles. It's not like, oh, I forgive a family member because they did this to me. It's not about that. It's about forgiveness because you know that you are projecting the outcome or whatever happened. So you're really forgiving something that somebody really didn't do because you're projecting in it. It's all an illusion. So that's one of the teachings of A Course in Miracles. And every attack that you perceive somebody giving you, every argument that you have, the Course in Miracles calls it it's a call for love. We all want to have love, experience love, and give love. That is really basic in the Course in Miracles, is how we extend love to each other, knowing that we are all one. And it brings me back to the whole thing about forgiveness. It's a radical idea to think that somebody really didn't do what you think they did because you're projecting that was what happened. It's very radical. It sounds shocking at first. But at the deepest truth, beyond all of our interpretations, we have never really separated from God. We think we're here in this world of form on earth, experiencing all these earth things, but we're not really here. We are projecting that. It states that forgiveness becomes a letting go of the meaning that you assign a situation. So something happens in your life and you think you attach a meaning to it. Well, my daughter did this or my son did this because, they don't love me or they don't appreciate what I do for them. Things like that. But it's not really the truth. The truth is that because of your projection, you created a story around what happened to you or what is happening to you and your family. So forgiveness is not about the behavior. It's about freeing your mind. So thinking in your mind about the forgiveness. Okay. Also, inner peace. The Course in Miracles' goal is inner peace. It's not about winning arguments. It's not about trying to fix the world out there. It's about change your mind about the world, and then the world will change itself. The goal is peace. One of the lessons in A Course in Miracles teaches that if you're going out in your day and you run across something that might be very stressful for you, that might upset you, that you get angry about, what you could do is say, I could see peace instead of this. And the peace that it's talking about is coming back to your own awareness and your own inner self, about acknowledging that, okay, that's me creating this. I'm creating my outer world. So do I want to see peace, or do I want to see what I'm projecting out there? So then you change your mind about the world. That helped me many times. I've just yesterday, I'm dropping my father off he's 90 years old. He's coming here from Houston. I dropped him off at his assisted living place. It's in National City. He's really scared. I teach him exactly what to do around there. But I'm feeling something different. I'm feeling guilty because of a few things. I'm the only child, and I feel a responsibility to make sure that my parents are taken care of. My mother, she's in memory care. She's 88. She's down the street at Grossmont Gardens Memory Care. She's there. She has dementia. And my father's now in National City. So I'm taking on all this responsibility. And I have a lot of thoughts running through me. I'm angry, first off. I'm angry because, one, I'm the only child, and I'm angry that I have to move them from Houston here. I'm feeling angry because they're not self-sufficient and they're interfering with my life. So those are the thoughts that are going through my head. And then I feel guilty. Hey, I'm a reverend. I'm not supposed to be doing this, right? What am I supposed to be feeling? I'm supposed to be feeling love. I'm supposed to be feeling inner peace. I'm supposed to be feeling joy. But honestly, I wasn't. It was a big ordeal to get my father here. He rode the Amtrak train because he's afraid of flying. I had to organize all this stuff for him. It's just been hard. And then my mom caught an infection over in memory care, and then I had to address that. And so I had to quit my job. I had to quit my job because I couldn't take care of him anymore. And so I had resentment. I had all this going on, like, why me, but I knew there had to be another way, right? Just like Bill said, there's got to be another way about this. So I realized, okay, Jodi, why am I projecting this? What is going on within me, in my inner self, that has me feeling this way? So as I left my father yesterday, alone by himself in memory care assisted living for the first time, I spent 4 hours there making sure that he was comfortable and he knew where to go and that they knew him. And when I left, he just started crying. His tears going down his eyes. He was just crying. And I felt bad. And I had competing thoughts going through my mind. I'm like, well, Dad, it was like abandonment. He was an alcoholic when I was growing up, and I'm like, well, Dad, you abandoned me, when I was a kid, and then I felt, maybe that's terrible, but I'm thinking these things, but like, now you're feeling like I'm abandoning you, but that's not true. And then I'm going back to A Course in Miracles, and it gives me peace. I'm driving home, like 4 miles down the road, and I'm just getting in touch with, like, God, why am I feeling like this? I don't want to feel this way. Then I just started to thinking about him and his journey and seeing him as a little kid and all the things that he went through. And then I just took a step back, like, yeah, you're projecting this, but what lesson can I learn from what I'm projecting out there? There's got to be another way. And then I began to think, okay, I'm not upset for the reason I think. I'm not really here. I'm home with God. The tools that you learn in any spiritual practice you can use. And then on my way home, I began to feel a little bit better, saying, I'm doing the best I can right now in this world of form that I believe that I'm in and believe that I'm living. And I'm just sending my Father love and light and love and light. And he called me a few hours later, and he said, Jodi, I'm having a really good time. I went to go play bingo. I ate some, what was it? He had some chicken wings with French fries, and people are starting to get to know him. He's wearing this thing that you can press and your caregiver finds you. So anyway, so the point is, it's about love and how you can spread love to people, even though you don't think that would be possible. So in closing, the Course in Miracles is a path in mind training, because you have to train your mind when you're in a situation where you feel like you might not like. It teaches that perception shapes our experience. We can choose between love or fear, and the fear could be manifested as anger or whatever negative emotion you might have. The ultimate goal is inner peace through thought. And for me, after decades of searching that I mentioned earlier, I found my spiritual foundation. And the Course says, teach only love, for that is what you are. And thank you. Thank you all for, that's it. Thanks.
Daughter. Yes. She's a good daughter, yes. So, I'm science of mind. No. So the thing about what we both are teaching in this world is that they're both possibilities. They're both different ways of looking at situations, and they're both ways of expanding who we are and what's going on inside. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling you. I'm feeling how hard that is. And as ministers, we have these conflicts that go on inside of us. But we just keep working through it, trying to find that which is going to make us feel better. I know for myself, I will go pick up a spiritual book or something and just keep reading little lines until it gets to me and it makes me feel better. The thing about Science Mind and Course in Miracles is they both tell us that what we see is not fixed. So you called it an illusion, I've called it an illusion. It's not a fix, it's always changing, it's constantly changing. And how we change what we see is by our own consciousness. It's our own mind. It's not the guy next door, it's how we see it. But they both promise that when we change our minds, things get better. They both do this. We just go different ways. We go different doorways. So we're going to give you a lot of examples in a little bit about that. But in the meantime, I've got like a few little slides I'll show you, a couple slides. And it'll kind of start pulling all this together. Anyway, basically Science of Mind talks about the law. And the law responds to your thought. Okay? Course in Miracles says there's a love that corrects your perception. They both are saying the same thing, just in different words. One emphasizes creation. We're always creating out there. We're always taking our thought and saying, I want to create, a great party. And so we're always creating, what does that look like? How do we get there? What do we got to do? That kind of stuff. Whereas A Course in Miracles always talks about correction, emphasizes correcting our thought about whatever it is that we're troubled. So, today is about possibilities. We're going to talk a lot about possibilities. So Ernest Holmes says this: the pent-up energy of life works through man's imagination and will. The time is now. The place is where we are. So we're right here in this place, and we imagine what it is we want to see in the world. Those are the possibilities. So what we believe, and I heard this from ever and ever and ever, is thoughts become form. Now, if you've done demonstrations in Science Mind, you know what a thought, you're looking for it. What is the form going to be? You're looking for the demonstration. So what you visualize becomes a demonstration. And we might ask ourselves these questions. What do I want to create? In fact, in the creation of Om, I always kept asking the question, what needs to be revealed to me? What needs to be revealed to me? So I'm always listening inside to say, oh, that's what I want. Like when I was even creating the name, I had a big poster up on a wall, and I would just reveal to me that which I need to know, and a word would come, and I'd throw it up on that poster. And I had tons and tons of words until the one that really resonated to me was Om. Because Om makes us go inside. It makes us relax into the oneness of God. And that just stuck. And I'm like, that's it. And our real name isn't Om Center for Spiritual Living. It's Om Spiritual Center. We have a DBA so that we're in compliance. So Om's Spiritual Center. And then the other thing is, what idea of good will I accept? We talk about good all the time because a lot of times we're looking out there and we don't see the good. But we have a choice, just like you're talking about. What do we want to see inside of us? So if you're looking for good, you're going to look for more good. You're going to see more good. If you're looking for, you get caught up in whatever's out there, you're going to see more of whatever's out there, right? It's like the news. Follow me? Or listening to it or watching it or whatever. So that's one of the core teachings, I think, is always look for the good. Look for the possibilities. Because that expands you. It doesn't put you in a box. And then we use spiritual mind treatment, and I call it affirmative prayer, to line the law. The law is the activity of God that brings the good into our expression, okay? And one might say is proactive, creative, and world engaging. Course in Miracle teaches this. Okay, sorry. Course in Miracles says possibility is not about creating a better illusion. This is interesting to me. It's about awakening from the illusion. I do that one okay?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Amen. It says the world we see is shaped by fear, which I agree with a lot, and miracles occur when we choose love instead. I think about people in relationships. And when they get in arguments, they're reflecting each other, right? But if one says, you know what, and I've learned, since I've been in a 30-year relationship, I finally come to the conclusion, I just want to be at peace. So do I need to win the argument, or do I need to be at peace? Yay, thank you. Thank you for that. And I've chosen to be at peace. It's not important for me to win. I always come around the other corner and win, so I don't have to worry about that. It causes me to shut up and look at it a different way, finding the love in it. Absolutely. But it's the truth. I don't have to win at the moment. It just means I need to look at it differently. So Course in Miracles then says, I have a slide on this one. It says, a miracle is a shift in perception from fear to love. So instead of asking, what do I want to create, Course in Miracles says, what do I need to forgive so I can see rightly? And especially think about your spouses, okay? Everybody can relate to that, a relationship. What do I need to forgive so I can see rightly? Sometimes I have to go back and say, forgive myself, because I saw it wrong, or I didn't understand something, or I have to forgive them because they weren't listening. Who knows what it is? But I have to look at it from a whole different point of view. So the possibilities, I love this, possibility becomes inner freedom. Inner freedom. Freedom to not be caught up in the stuff. Okay? All right, I'm going to give you one story, and then we're going to do a little back and forth here. How many people here treat for a parking space? Treat for a parking space. Or you think about, I want a parking space up front. Okay? Everybody, we kind of, I do this. I'm so good at it now that I usually get a parking space right in front of the restaurant. Right? So I don't even worry about parking places anymore. Anyway, science mind says your thought aligned with the law produces the result. Okay? If I'm in line, I want to be right there. In fact, I'll never forget this. I was down in Little Italy in San Diego, a place where there's no parking, right? And I was meeting some friends there, and I said, I just thought, I just need a parking place close, right? And Cindy said, oh, you're really good about this. You'll get a parking place. I was right at the front door. I could not believe I got it. So I got it. I got that parking place. So that's, thought creates form. Course in Miracles says, the real miracle is not the parking space. The real miracle is arriving without anxiety, without competition, and in peace. See how those things go together? The point of this whole talk that we're giving today is they both matter. They both are valuable teachings. And so it's about how do we pull these things together. Because it said here, because what is a parking place without peace, right? I mean, you could be fighting instead. All right, so we're going to get up and we're going to talk a little bit about this. Now, I've cut out like half of my talk because I thought it'd be better for you. And in fact, we have a handout we're going to give you, and you can kind of follow along with us. Because I think that I've never discounted Course in Miracles. I just never understood it. I've always heard so many wonderful things about it. So, yeah, this side, you get this side, you get that side. So just at this point, you're going to look at this side of the sheet, okay? Thank you. And I'm going to have Jodi come up here. Is this too high for you? I don't want you to be. I want them to see your face.
Can you hear me? Is this on?
I don't think so.
Bring that mic up, please. Okay. Is this helpful? Are you kind of getting where we're going? Okay, good. He'll bring it up for you.
Hello?
There you go.
There
We
it
got
goes.
it now.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So we're going to stay on this side, please, okay? So the way this is going to work, and here's how I want to explain this. As I was creating this, I kept going, wow, this is a whole different perspective of how you look at something. And so Jodi's going to talk about Course in Miracles, because she's more the expert. And I'll be Science of Mind. And then I'm going to say something about what does that mean, the two of them together. So we're going to try and do this a good way. So just kind of follow us. So you want to talk about the first one?
Yeah, I'll talk about the first one. Okay. Everybody have a handout?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. We're looking at the purple section right now. There is a love that corrects your perception. Remember how I talked about we project what our inner self is? And if we're projecting if we're feeling something negative, we might project something negative. So this talks about if you're feeling love, it's the love that corrects your perception.
Yeah. So when Jodi was speaking, I could feel my love for you. I really appreciate what you had to say. It was like, oh, I hadn't thought about it that way.
Yeah.
Science of Mind says there's a law that responds to your thought. So there's this force in the universe that responds to what you're thinking about. Together, they mean together, both tell us that what we see is not fixed. In other words, things are always changing. So we have a choice as we go along life as to how we want to see it. We'll do the next one.
Next one is the other emphasizes correction. So it's all about correction, because we talked about how Reverend Suzette taught you. What was the part you talked about? It's about, well, I can just summarize it. We think that we're here in this room and we're really having a life experience, and we've had many past lives and life experiences. So how we stop that cycle of death and rebirth is through forgiveness. And that's what this talks about. That's the correction. So the more we forgive in our daily lives, that helps us stop the cycle of death and rebirth so that we can go back into the oneness with God.
Okay. And Science of Mind says one emphasizes creation. So we're always creating, always creating. In fact, before I knew Omiva was going to exist, I knew there was something pulling me forward to create. And in fact, I won't give you the whole story, but the bottom line came down to somebody said to me at a time of big distress, they said, go create what you want. Go create what you want. And so that's been my motto as everything that we have done in the last 18 years, guys, 18 years. Can you believe that? We are in creation constantly, constantly in creation. Science of Mind, both of us together say, both tell us transformation begins with consciousness. Bottom line is, we're both trying to figure out in our mind, what is it we want to project? What is it we want to see? What is it we want to create? Is this helpful?
Yes.
Good.
Great.
Next.
A Course in Miracles teaches possibility is not about creating a better illusion. It's about awakening from the illusion. And I mentioned about that a while ago. It's about we want to wake up from this dream that we're having because we think we're here. And we had that tiny mad idea where we thought we could separate from God. But that's not true. We're really at home, one with God and everyone.
Right, right. So Ernest Holmes teaches, and I just read this a minute ago, the pent-up energy of life works through man's imagination and will. The time is now, the place is where we are. Possibilities in Science of Mind is about mental causation. Thoughts become form, vision becomes a demonstration. So we're always, again, creating. It's, again, a different way of looking at it. Together, this means, or comes together, both promise that new world becomes available when we change our mind, bottom line. Together, they give us a fuller map of what's possible, their way, our way, another way, and where they meet. So that's where these all meet together. I'll let you go ahead.
Okay. A Course in Miracles said that the world we see is shaped by fear, and miracles occur when we choose love instead. The Course tells us A miracle is a shift in perception from fear to love. So instead of asking, what do I want to create? A Course in Miracles asks, what do I need to forgive so I can see rightly? Yes.
What do I need to forgive so I can see rightly?
Yeah, and it's not about forgiving because it really happened or anything in your life that's making you, excuse me, upset or angry or fearful or sad. It's not about the other person that really did something. It's about, again, going back to the projection, and it's about the forgiveness is knowing that you're responsible for what you're seeing. So you forgive yourself about that.
Or you forgive the thought. Is that
Yeah,
better?
well, yeah, you forgive the
forgive
thought
thought.
that you're having about
Okay.
that, about, something out there that's you see on TV that might be upsetting.
Yeah.
And you think about, well,
I have a choice.
Yeah, I take responsibility. Yeah. Choose again is what the Course in Miracles says. I could choose again.
We
I could
do
choose,
too.
I could choose fear.
We do too. We say
Or
that too.
I could choose love.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah.
that's right,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right.
That's great.
All right. Again, in Science of Mind, we would say, what do you want to create? Again, it's just a different way of looking at it. What ideas of good am I willing to accept? That's one of the quotes I had up there. What do I want to create and how much good? I like to say, how much good can you take? How much good can you take inside your life?
Bring it. Bring it.
There you go. All right, give me 5 on that one, man. All right. And so together this says, here's the beautiful convergence. Both agree that the outer world reflects inner consciousness. Both teach that love is the only reality. It's pretty cool, huh? All right,
That's cool.
you're next.
Possibility becomes inner freedom, meaning that you have the freedom to choose what you want to see. You have the freedom to feel the fear or give the love.
Yeah. And in Science of Mind, or affirmative prayer, we align with the law to bring the good into expression. Both insist that transformation begins within. How we do it is another thing.
Ooh, that hurts.
What does?
Well, if it begins within, you have to take responsibility
my
for your
God.
life. Who wants that, right? I want to just push it out there.
That's right, push it out there.
Push out the guilt. It's their fault. It's
That's
their
right.
fault.
It's
I'm
their
like this because
problem.
of them. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
right. Good job.
A Course in Miracles is less concerned with changing the world and more concerned with changing the mind that sees the world.
That's pretty,
Yeah.
That's powerful. One might say it's proactive. Science of Mind is proactive, creative, and world engaging. In other words, we don't limit ourselves to just what we see inside in front of us. We just encompass anything, any of the possibilities. So both affirm that the inner work affects the whole.
That's great.
Yeah,
I like the first column.
I know
It feels good.
That's right. We'll just go to there, right? We'll just go there. All right, go ahead.
Okay, where we at? We're at
Seek not.
Okay, seek not to change the world, but choose to change your mind about the world. Wow, that's where you get the power. That's where you get the freedom.
Yeah.
Because when perception changes, your experience changes.
Get that?
Yeah.
Really, a whole different way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Ernest Holmes says there's a power greater than we are, and we can use it. I hear his voice when I say that.
Can I ask a question? I hate to.
Sure.
So, I'm hearing and feeling what you're saying a lot, but
Great.
it sounds like ignoring that there's bad and evil in the world. I'm hearing what you're saying and I'm really identifying with it.
Yeah.
But part of it is like, should I not acknowledge that there's bad out in the world?
That's a good
And
question. Are we
that
taking
I
questions
need
now?
to do
Okay.
something because I'm real passionate about that.
Yeah, that's a good question
We will
because
take them too later.
it's
but go ahead.
about the projection that you are. The Course in Miracles says there's either fear or love. So if you're seeing the hate out in the world or what you're feeling, it's about your ego feeling the fear of what's out there. But in reality, you're only love. You're only love, and we're a part of God. God is only love. And the fear is that what we're seeing out there and what we think is the world, but it is the illusion. Yeah, it's a very metaphysical practice because you have to think about what's real, what's not real. And Course in Miracles says that only love is real.
Thank you.
Wow.
That helps. And we can talk afterwards, too.
Yeah, we'll talk later too. Did you have something, Sierra?
Oh, I I guess I was thinking that, because the idea of forgiveness, how I'm processing, resolving that, is the idea of sending love to it.
Yes.
So I guess if there's something upsetting out there, which is also in here,
Right.
sending love to it, it's now mixed with love
Yes.
in my mind. So
Yeah.
Agreed, yes.
You can do that.
anger, I try to acknowledge it, send love to
Yeah.
me or whatever. So that's kind of how I'm trying to work on the idea of forgiveness right now.
One of the things that's different about Course in Miracles and Science Mind is that we don't ignore what we see. Okay? We're sitting here in a room of 30 people, and this is what we're doing. We also listen intuitively to ourselves. But if you want to make a change, let's say in yourself, and maybe that what you want to see, something better happen, good happen, is that's when we go inside and we claim that this is what I want. So if I want to forgive XYZ out there, I may do it so that I can bring peace to myself and know, and this is where it kind of separates a little bit, and just know that my mind is connected to the one mind and their mind is connected to the one mind, so some way that message is received.
May I add something?
Yes, you can.
Okay, it's
Please.
not that A Course in Miracles necessarily ignores what's happening in the outside world. It's that it's a different way of looking at it. It's working with the Holy Spirit, because A Course in Miracles is really big about working with the Holy Spirit. And the world that we see is like a classroom. Like we learn our forgiveness lessons. We learn how to make our way in the world. And it's a good example. You give love to the world. So the world teaches us things about how we can escape the cycle of death and rebirth. Does that make sense?
Sort of.
Sort of?
Sort of.
It's
It's a different concept, so
you use what you're seeing on TV or what you're experiencing
Right.
and things like that as a way to forgive and then add love to it. But if you ignore it, it's like spiritual bypassing, so to speak. You
Right,
just
exactly.
don't ignore that.
Right.
Feel the feelings and love anyway.
Right. And I'll just say for myself, as I watch TV, I'm constantly saying that's an illusion. That's not real. That's not real. I'm
That's
not
cool.
buying into it. All that means is I'm not buying into the negative, because I don't want to buy into the negative. I want to constantly say there's something better can happen. Or if we're going through trouble, which obviously the world's going through a lot of stuff right now, is I go, okay, I see it, I'll acknowledge it, but I'm not going to be a part of that. I'm going to know that we're going to create something better. I'm constantly looking at there's something better to happen. It reminds me of, and this image is in my mind, is when the towers in New York were hit by planes. I will never forget it, because my life changed that day. And somebody says, turn on the TV, and it's right there in front of me. I'm thinking, this has got to be an illusion. But it wasn't. It was real. It was very real. So I was caught up in the moment. Yeah. Okay, we get caught up, just like you're feeling your family.
Yeah.
Caught in the moment. And then I went, okay, I don't like this. This is scary. I feel it. And then some part of me, I watched myself do this, step back, and I went, you know what? Out of this horribleness, something wonderful is going to happen. And when I went to New York for the first time, I got to see what it was. And it was incredible. I was underneath where everything landed. I saw the fire trucks that were burnt up. I saw the metal that was twisted. And I saw New York as a community coming together to love each other. Love. Sent the message. I got chills on that one, guys. All right,
Next one.
possibilities.
Okay, possibility. It means we are not bound by fear. It is spiritually contemplative, meaning thought.
Right. Science Mind says possibilities equals means we can change conditions. It's spiritually, as spiritual activists. We're activists. We're always creating, always creating. And together they say the other builds and heals minds as universal blessings, and we forgive the past.
Great, forgiveness is in there. I love that.
Yeah.
A Course in Miracles says choose love instead of fear. and experience a miracle.
Okay, Science Mind says, change your thinking, change your life. Two distinct ways of saying that. And together we imagine the future. Because we're really, together we're creating the future. Just a different way of looking at it, maybe.
And the Course in Miracles focuses on individual awakening, like I mentioned earlier, awaken from the cycle of death and rebirth. But it also says when one mind is healed, it contributes to the healing of all, because we're all joined, the mind.
That's right. I love that. Science of Mind places enormous emphasis on collective consciousness. Holmes and United said, united thought multiplies good 1,000 times. This means communication. Communities can become transformational fields, which we'll talk about, something we're doing here. Basically, we're acting the present, and together they give us a fuller map of what's possible. And then the last one, which I had to add because I had accidentally left it off. You don't have this one, but this one's important.
Oh, okay. Forgiveness removes the blocks to love's presence. That's deep.
Yeah.
Deep.
Yeah, and Science of Mind asks us to imagine boldly. It's many times I've been in prayer with somebody, and that's what they want, is not necessarily for themselves, but whatever the situation is. And I allow Spirit to move through me to just know boldly that something good can transpire, even though it doesn't look that way. And together, imagines build new, forgiveness clears the way. Forgiveness clears the way.
Yes.
It's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay! So, I'm going to, thank you, Jodi.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you're amazing. So, yeah, so what we're going to do is I'm going to do and you guys have this on the back, because I'm going to do a little meditation on this. And I don't want you to read it while I'm doing it. I want you to close your eyes and just allow me to take you there. And Sylvia, could you just play a little background for me? Thank you. And the whole idea here is that we want to give you different, I think about how life sometimes is very complex. And so teaching you, bringing forth different ways of looking at life, I like to think of it as it's your six-pack. You can go to any part of this, and it can pull it all together to help you. Because I don't know about you, but how many of you have some kind of ailment? Oh, great. Okay. Good. We're all in the same boat together. Okay. How many of you try to fix it one way? How about fix it two ways? Three. I'm on like 5 or 6 now. That's what this is about. These are different ways for you to take it inside and say, how can I bring better to this thought? How can I bring better into my world? Okay? So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes, and Sylvia's just going to play a little stuff in the background, and it's called the Prayer of What's Possible. What's possible for a community that practices forgiveness daily, imagines boldly, treats collectively, acts compassionately? What's possible if we could become both? A field for peace, a field for creating better. Science of Mind says we are co-creators in the infinite. Course in Miracles says we are extensions of love itself. One says it's the law. The other says it's love. Together they say, you are not limited. You are not separate. You are not powerless. Possibility is not something we wait for. It's something we awaken to and participate in. So today, we stand at the edge of possibilities with 2 great tools. A mind trained to think truth. a heart trained to forgive. We imagine a world that works for all. We release everything that says it cannot. And we step forward, not as hopeful spectators, but as peaceful creators of what is possible. So breathe that in and know that you come together today to create a better world. Let's take a collective breath in and let go of anything that doesn't look like that. And so as I end this talk today, I give great thanks. I give great thanks for the ability for us to learn more, to widen our breadth of knowledge, to bring forth different concepts and different ways of being, and to integrate the good that they both bring into our lives. And so I bless those that are here, those that are coming, those that are online, knowing that we were here today on purpose to hear the message, to hear the thoughts, to hear the ideas, and to bring in full circle the one word we both agree upon, that is love. And so I know as this room is filled with love, that the internet is filled with love, that the work that we do is filled with love, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that we do make a difference in our life, our community's life, and the world. And for that, I am grateful. I'm so grateful that we can come together to agree upon the one word we call love, knowing that it does make a difference. For that, I release these words now into the infinite law, the infinite miracles we create, knowing that Spirit has just said yes. And join me in saying, and so it is.